Within the first week of the new season, China was struck by a series of simultaneous natural disasters. In Hebei, 2 cities were ravaged by a tornado that lasted for half an hour. State media reports indicate that 11 people are stranded, with 1 person reported missing. Some were seen riding electric scooters that vanished in the blink of an eye, while others were swept away from high-rise buildings, their bodies nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, in Liaoning and Fushan, record-breaking torrential rains have shattered history. Official reports confirm 3 deaths, and while the floodwaters continue to rise, submerging countless vehicles, a small Winnie the Pooh pendant was seen bobbing in the water for quite a while, a haunting image that went viral across the internet. In southwestern Nanning, a reservoir dam failed, sending flash floods that swept through the villages below. A local netizen captured the harrowing scene on camera, crying out, "The water is filled with floating heads, who knows how many have died." Adding to the catastrophe, reports have surfaced of a snake farm being breached, with large numbers of venomous snakes now roaming free, and some people have already been bitten. According to official figures, 4 people have died and 8 others are currently missing. The Hebei incident involving a lithium battery plant explosion, which sent a mushroom cloud into the sky, has left at least 15 people stranded. The authorities called the villagers who posted the footage in the middle of the night, demanding that they delete the on-site recordings. Shortly after, the entire blast site was completely sealed off. In Xi'an, a conscientious business owner took his own life by jumping from a building after his business was slapped with a hefty one-time fine of 1.1456 million yuan. With nowhere left to turn, citizens have been gathering to pay their respects under immense pressure. Outside the shopping mall, more than 20 police vehicles have been deployed. Meanwhile, rumors are circulating that residents in Fujian, following the company's bankruptcy, chose to protest by setting fire to their own assets. In Zhengzhou, Henan, a massive fire has also been reported, claiming 5 lives, with the cause of the blaze still under investigation. Unrelenting and ruthless, these disasters are unfolding simultaneously on this land, as ordinary people are caught in the midst of both natural and man-made catastrophes. Yet, whenever the public suffers, the authorities' immediate reaction is always the same: to shut everything down at the first opportunity. Natural disasters wait for no one, and these man-made crises continue without end. And yet, the very entity that should be protecting its people is busy scrubbing the internet, censoring information, and sealing off the truth. In their narrative, this week is nothing more than the first week following the 105th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party, a time, they claim, for continuing to drive a great rejuvenation. Both narratives exist side by side on the same land. While ordinary people are left with nowhere to turn, caught in the midst of deep turmoil and suffering, they persist in their brave resistance. Using whatever means they have left, they are speaking the unspeakable. Hi Tracers, Sean here. This week, we are witnessing a heartbreaking irony. On one side, the official narrative continues to tout glory and great rejuvenation, but on the other, the land of China seems to be weeping. Natural disasters arrive unannounced, and man-made crises which could have been prevented are left to claim lives as if human existence were just a statistic to be scrubbed away. Tracers, I'm finalizing plans to launch a VIP community on YouTube. There, we'll dig into sensitive documents that I can't showcase here and dive deeper into what's actually happening behind the curtain of censorship. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is the right step for us to push further in uncovering the truth? Let's break down what's really going on, because you never know how deep this hole goes. First, let's talk about natural disasters. This week, China wasn't hit by just one. On the night of July 6th, remnants of Typhoon Mary triggered a rare tornado in the Huanggang and Ezhou regions of Hebei. The winds reached EF2 to EF3 intensity, with some areas hitting level 17 gusts. The tornado tore through the urban areas of both cities for nearly half an hour. This is nearly unprecedented in the history of China's inland cities. According to local netizens, the tornado shattered storefronts and tore roofs right off residential houses. Flat roofs collapsed, crushing facilities inside. Shops and tents were swept away, and massive trees were uprooted. Additionally, railway lines were forced to shut down after debris slammed into the train bodies. In Ezhou, a transformer explosion caused a total city-wide blackout, leaving the entire city in darkness that night. The descriptions from eyewitnesses are hard to forget. Some said they saw an e-scooter rider vanish in the blink of an eye, person and vehicle snatched by the wind. Others said someone was swept from the upper floors of a high-rise building and disappeared into the sky, never to be found again. Others mentioned shattered glass, crumbled houses, and total power failure. Some even reported children being trapped inside the wreckage. Officially, this disaster has claimed 11 lives, with 1 missing, 331 injured, and 146,000 affected. Meanwhile, in Nanning and Hangzhou, Guangxi, relentless rainfall caused multiple reservoirs to issue warnings. On July 6th, the Lulan Reservoir Dam failed, sending flash floods through downstream villages. Within minutes, village streets turned into oceans. Many residential homes were submerged up to the 2nd floor or higher. Cars were tossed in the flood like pieces of paper. Viral videos showed hundreds of thousands of livestock drifting helplessly in the water. Many people were also reported swept away by the flood currents. Local netizens screamed into their cameras, saying that human heads could be seen scattered everywhere in the water, questioning how many had actually died while the downstream regions were almost entirely submerged. Not long after the video was circulated, it became impossible to find. Furthermore, reports have surfaced that a snake farm was swept away by the flash flood, allowing a large number of snakes to escape. This includes venomous snakes like cobras, and there have already been reports of residents being bitten. However, the Guangxi government issued a report that seemed to downplay the situation. According to official figures, 4 people died and 8 are missing. Meanwhile, Fushun, in Liaoning, northeast China, was hit by an extreme rainstorm on July 4th, with average rainfall reaching 106 millimeters and a maximum of 329.2 millimeters. This shattered local historical records. Streets were waterlogged and many vehicles were submerged. Authorities stated that this storm caused 3 deaths. However, what made this storm the talk of social media wasn't the numbers, but a single photo. The photo showed a car almost entirely submerged in floodwater. The car door was open, the interior was filled with water, and debris was floating on the surface. Inside, you could see a Winnie the Pooh keychain with its legs appearing to float in the murky brown floodwater. In the comment section, one person paused for a long time, then wrote a single sentence. "This is the first time President Xi has visited Luboli." Another commented, "Playing coy. Winnie the Pooh hung himself." Even though the car's interior was severely flooded, the Winnie the Pooh keychain remained hanging. Is this a joke? Yes, but behind the jest lies the real anger of netizens in the Northeast. The mineral resources have been completely stripped and the profits funneled to Beijing. The drainage systems were never repaired, and then a major storm turned the whole city into this. Is this a natural disaster, or is it man-made? 3 natural disasters struck 3 provinces in the same week. Yet, there is one common thread in the government's response to these events. We will discuss that further in the next part. After discussing natural disasters, let's talk about those of human making. On the afternoon of July 6th, a massive explosion rocked a lithium battery plant in the Wanfang Industrial Zone, Ningjin County, Xingtai City, Hebei Province. The mushroom cloud from the blast was visible from several kilometers away. A factory building was reduced to ruins, leaving behind twisted, jagged steel frames. The surrounding walls completely collapsed, while windows in nearby residential buildings were shattered into pieces by the explosion's shockwave. Rumors circulating suggest at least 10 people were casualties, with some netizens claiming as many as 15. Shortly after, a familiar pattern unfolded. The authorities called the citizens who had shared videos of the incident, demanding they delete their footage under the guise of concerns over the resulting impact. In the official narrative of the Chinese Communist Party, these 4 words are a standard euphemism that when translated into human language, simply mean, "We don't want more people to know about this." The roads around the site were immediately sealed off, and to this day, the government has yet to announce an official death toll. A local resident interviewed by the Epoch Times expressed their view with chilling calmness. Even if there were casualties, the authorities will not announce them. There is something far more unsettling about this calmness than any expression of anger. The truth is, this isn't the first time citizens have said such things. It is a form of resignation, validated time and again by reality. They already know the score. When citizens speak like this, there is no hope left in their tone, because hope itself has been exhausted. The Hebei explosion is just one of many man-made catastrophes this week. It follows a pattern all too familiar in China. An incident occurs, videos are scrubbed, roads are cordoned off, shallow announcements are made, and the truth is swallowed by the earth. Two contrasting narratives exist on the same land, one of forced grandeur and another of real, raw suffering being scrubbed from public memory. Yet, as long as there are those who dare to speak out amidst the threats, the truth will never truly die. Thank you for listening. If you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.